can choose to live with your head down, stay in line, obey orders.
Playing a game like Detroit: Become Human, or watching movies like Blade Runner, presents us with a world dominated by technology, where artificial beings walk the earth and blend in with everyday citizens. It's a future humanity has been striving for since 2001: A Space Odyssey. And if the Neon Project is to be believed, it's a future that looks to be here. But what do we really know about the Neon Project, and should we be afraid of the future we are expecting from the artificial human beings it will spawn? Well, whether you're a fan of the concept of androids, or just want to know as much as possible about the latest and greatest technological advances of our time, you've come to the right place, as we're about to introduce you to Neon, the world's first artificial human. So strap yourselves in and open your minds, as things are about to get interesting. But before we jump right in, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Who or what is Neon? Neon was revealed at the Consumer Electronics Show last year as the world's first artificial human who, with the backing of Samsung, will one day be able to change the way we link up with the cyber world. Suffice it to say, the internet was abuzz after this featurette spitting out warnings of a robotic apocalypse looming closer and closer. But it's not what it seems, as Neon hasn't gone full Android, at least not yet. Neon is a computationally created virtual being that both looks and behaves like a real human. Think of it as the upgraded form of Siri, who is not just a voice coming from your smartphone speaker, but a face and body coming from your smartphone's screen. It's clearly the next step in virtual assistance. But what really makes the workings of Neon incredible is the ability for the artificial human being to show both emotion and intelligence. Emotional intelligence as a concept was believed to be beyond the comprehension of anything that wasn't completely human, which makes Neon one of the biggest technological achievements of last year. Unlike an artificially intelligent assistant, Neon is not a know-all bot and should not be seen as an android, surrogate, or copy of another human being. It must also be said that Neon is not merely an interface to the internet to ask about things like the weather or traffic. In a more real sense, Neon is the next step in human-cyber relations, being able to both synthesize and converse like real humans do, allowing us to bring artificial intelligence where the world needs it most. According to CEO Pranav Mistry, Neon is like a new kind of life. There are millions of species on our planet, and we hope to add one more. Neons will be our friends, collaborators, and companions, continually learning, evolving, and forming memories from their interactions. Needless to say, the future is looking bright if Pranav is to be believed, which is especially true if you consider how down people were feeling throughout the global health situation, both this and last year. With a Neon, things might have been a lot better for those of us who craved human interactions while such contact was prohibited. What makes the Neon tick? Each Neon is powered by the Core R3, which is the company's proprietary technology platform. Standing for reality, real-time, and responsiveness, the Core R3 has leapt ahead of its competitors in the field of behavioral neural networks, evolutionary generative intelligence, and computational reality. With a design that is clearly based on the complexities we find in nature, the Neon is taught extensively how to behave and interact as humans do, employing machine learning to make sure that each response is measured in its use. This is, after all, how we teach our children to be working members of society. The Core R3 is able to computationally create a lifelike reality that is beyond what our ordinary perceptions can distinguish, making a Neon appear to be 100% human. Gone are the days where you'll be able to tell that you are interacting with a bot that has a few programmed responses to hand your way. And with a latency of less than a few milliseconds, Neons will also be able to respond to any and all of your questions in real time, eliminating the lag that we often experience when talking to bots. It must also be said that the Core R3 is able to connect with other domain-specific and value-added services such as Spectra, for example. For those of you who don't know, Spectra, which is still in the development stage, is standing by to complement the Core R3 with the spectrum of intelligence, learning, emotions, and memory. Neons will thus have the capacity to not only think for themselves and expand their horizons, but learn from their mistakes and remember their previous experiences with a user. This makes for an immersive experience that goes beyond what we ever expected with the unveiling of Neon last year. What does Neon look like? Have you ever played a role-playing video game and ended up creating your own character before setting forth on your adventure? Well, that creation is based on a number of preset options. When placed in different combinations, gives quite a few different types of character that you are able to create. When it comes to neon, however, the character creation we are used to in the gaming world appears to be entirely small scale. This was shown at the booth in the central hall of LVCC, where neons from all walks of life were shown. Although each and every one was made of the same virtual materials, viewers looked on in surprise as they were introduced to a yoga instructor, banker, K-pop star, news anchor, fashion model, and many more. Using the technological prowess of the Core R3 to render life-sized neons on full-size displays, the audience was shown just how many options of neons were available. Not just in profession, of course, but in looks as well. Whether there will be a preset number of options to choose from in future or whether we'll be able to create and modify the look of our own, we have no idea. But either way, they look unmistakably realistic. Viewers were also able to catch a glimpse of neons reacting and responding in real time. And this wasn't just a response to questions asked, but emotions displayed as well. Will neons be completely unique? Although it's true that neons may borrow the likeness of or be modeled after real people, the Neon Project is set to establish neons as unique beings with their own personalities and ability to show expressions, movements, and dialogues. These will be dependent on both the memories that the neon carries with it, as well as a previous machine learning that the neon has experienced already. Critics have mentioned that if the neons are created by their individual owners, they will never truly look unique. This is, after all, what we have seen in the video games industry, where players often end up making characters that look incredibly similar to one another. But that being said, with the number of people in the world at the moment, you can expect to find at least one or two other people who look similar to you. So why do we give ourselves the label of unique when neons are excluded for the very test that we fail? What are the positive implications of neons in the future? According to the Neon Project, the sky's the limit when it comes to the use of neons in the future. As it stands right now, the company is looking to continue with the creation of tweaking of their artificial humans, with the showcase being nothing more than a means of drumming up more investment. In other words, it's not like we'll be able to own a neon right now. As such, the details of how to essentially own one haven't yet been created, but the Neon Project has stated that we might be able to license or subscribe to neons in the future. Whether this will give us the option to either own or rent one, we have no idea, and we'll have to wait for clarification when things reach the point where such information has been made known. What we can imagine right now is the use of neons as a companion, with many people in the world, especially during the long months of a global health situation, often lacking this to the detriment of their own mental health. Imagine a friend who knows you extremely well and is always within reach, never willing to break your trust or leave you in the lurch when you need them most. This is what neons have the power to be. In the same sense, neons will likely be able to be trained by artificial means in the social sciences, allowing them to take on jobs like clinical and relational psychologists. Although let's be honest, the majority of human beings would prefer to be judged by fellow human beings over and above what they consider to be machines. We can also imagine a world where neons take the form of service representatives, financial advisors, healthcare practitioners, television news anchors, and hotel concierges. Any industry where the primary focus is the communication of knowledge and information can be taken on by neons, which, although a little scary when it comes to job prospects, is an amazing feat. In the words of Mystery, we have always dreamed of such virtual beings in science fiction movies. Neons will integrate with our world and serve as new links to a better future, a world where humans are humans and machines are humans too. The dream is definitely alive, but some critics have stated on record that the shift in dynamic between humans and machines has a nightmarish quality to it as well. What are the negative implications of neons in the future? As we said earlier, if created as described, neons have the ability to take on a number of jobs in various industries around the world. This is a scary prospect considering just how difficult it currently is to find a job. If humans are replaced by neons across the globe, unemployment will almost certainly be at an all-time high. It must also be said that the industries under threat by the incorporation of neons into life are those that we never thought machines could ever operate, being mostly social and informative in nature. But when you are able to create a neon with passion and love for a subject, maybe it would make for a better teacher than what we currently have. Another negative consequence that might arise with the establishment of neons in the world is the onset of human hacking. Becoming overly reliant on a neon that can be switched off or changed without your knowledge is a troubling thought. And if life has taught us anything, it's that criminals can be pretty ingenious at times. What do you think of the first artificial humans in society? Let us know in the comments section down below.